Good morning to you and welcome to the Lewis County Public Library's Tuesday morning story time. Can you be guessing what today's theme might be? Oh no, what's that? There's a pirate ship coming up on Castle Lewis. We'll have to read some pirate books to find out if our castle be safe from those rustly scallywags. Our first book today be The Pirate Cruncher. This was written by Johnny Duddle, and this book has a warning. My dear fellow pirate, do ye want to be rich, to get treasure beyond your wildest dreams, to find nuggets of gold as big as ship beams, and diamonds and rubies the size of your eyes? Just follow this map, please see reverse, to claim your prize. Asterisk. Conditions may apply. From a friend. Here be the pirate treasure map. Let's see what happens in the Pirate Cruncher. All was unusually quiet in Port Royal, but if you listened carefully on the docks, down the alleyways and in the candlelit taverns, you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle floating on the wind. Outside the Thirsty Part Inn, an old fiddler, as he fiddled, he sang a song. I was sailing one day, and what did I see? An island in gold on the scurvy sea. With a fiddle-dee-dee, there'll be treasure for me. Fiddle-dee-dee, across the sea. His chant he caught the ear of the dastardly Captain Purplebeard, who bellowed out the window, Treasure, you say? Can you show us the way? And his mate said, I'm quite fond of treasure. Me too. And us, we want some. I like the way it twinkles. But the parrot says, personally, I think treasure causes nothing but trouble. Will he be right? To the captain's delight, the fiddler replied, As I sailed the seas, I scribbled a note, so when I got home I could find my way back. You cannot imagine the booty that's there, a huge haul of treasure beyond compare. Har har, said the captain. I can imagine a shipload of treasure, roared Captain Purplebeard. Diamonds and rubies and gold beyond measure. Yeah, I can imagine bags and bags. Huh? I'd rather have a bag of peanuts. I'd like some new gold teeth. I'd like to fill me boots with loot. I want more treasure than I can eat. You eat treasure? Only the small pieces. The fiddler unfurled his map and sang, I'll show you me map, if you'll take me there. There'll be treasure enough for us to share. Hurrah! The captain smiled and shouted, By thunder! That sounds just like our sort of plunder, or my name ain't Pirate Purplebeard of Pindow. Finish your grogs, lads. We sail right now. The sun was coming up as Captain Purplebeard and his cutthroat crew boarded their ship, the Black Hole. Behind them came the old fiddler, still dancing and singing. To find this island you'll have to be quick, for they say it performs a vanishing trick. And none who've tried to set foot on its sands have ever returned to pirate lands. But the captain captain just sneered. What nonsense, I say! All aboard me hearties! Oh ha! Hooray! So off they sailed across the sea, and as they sat down to breakfast, the fiddler began. There's one small thing I forgot yesterday. There's also a monster, or so they say, that likes to eat pirates who come for the treasure and chew up the ships just for good measure. A pirate cruncher, laughed the captain with glee. Be it made up or monstrous, there's no match for me. I'm Captain Purplebeard, the scourge of the sea. The fiddler said, oh yes, I agree, it doesn't scare me. No siree. Though no bones about it, it's a big old beast that likes nothing more than a pirate feast. It can swallow whole ships in its whirlpool jaws, though they say it's allergic to scarlet macaws. There be rubies, there be diamonds the size of balloons, and silvers and guineas and golden doubloons. But grab it all quick or it'll have your entrails. Now fiddly-dee, let's trim those sails. But no one looked on the deck below. The crew looked around in fear and dread, a monstrous vision in each pirate's head. See them?
Actually, I've never been that fond of treasure. Yeah, I'm not so sure I can stay.
I forgot. It's Pirates Point picnic today. Let's give the ship a cleaning instead. If we don't go home, we'll all end up dead. Go home, roared Captain Purplebeard. Any cowardly landlubbers will be tossed in the sea. The only thing you should be scared of is me. So, with visions of monsters in every head, the motley old crew trudged off to bed. Most had nightmares and terrible dreams, and the hold was full of pirate screams. But on the deck the captain just chortled with pleasure, for his head was stuffed full of dreams about treasure. Gold or silver, I don't care which, just as long as it makes me filthy rich. The next morning, the crew couldn't be sure, but the day before it seemed they had numbered one more. And the fiddler told them, if you're too scared, you can turn back to port. While you're still healthy, save scurvy and warts. It would be safer by far to return to the shore. And as for the treasure, do you really need more? Shiver me timbers, Captain Purplebeard laughed. You should know by now that never, ever can any pirate have enough treasure. And if there's a beast, it better beware. I smell that gold. We're almost there. Just then, from up in the crow's nest, there came a call.
Time Ahoy!
Hurrah! Yelled the pirates, forgetting their fear, now that the promise of treasure was near.
We're going to be rich! Rich! Rich!
As they clambered ashore, no one saw a thing wrong, too busy to heed the fiddler's last song. Off you go, boys, but I think I'll stay here. I doubt what you'll find will bring you good cheer. For a pile of old metal you really don't need has brought on a dangerous case of greed. And being greedy, you know, is wrong, which brings me at last to the end of my song. It's ours now, all of it. More treasure for me, Captain. crunch. I was swimming one day, and what did I see? A pirate-packed boat in the scurvy sea with a fiddly-dee. There'll be dinner for me, fiddly-dee, across the... The end. Oh, what a good pirate story that was. You know, sometimes you do need to know when it's time to call it quits, whether it's cookies or treasure or even time spent outside. But now, let's sing the song we always sing in story time. So get your hands loosey-goosey. And here we go. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. The more we read together, 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 the more we read together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your books are my books, and my books are your books. The more we read together, the happier we'll be. Now let's sing a pirate tune. This goes to the tune of This Old Man. This pirate has a hat where a skull and crossbones sat, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate has a patch, sailed the sea without a scratch, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate has a hook, uses it to hold a book, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate has a map, keeps it handy in his lap, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate has a bird, barely knows a single word, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate has a ship, travels all the world in it, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. This pirate looks for loot, more than can fill any boot, with an R and an I matey. This old pirate sailed the sea. Good job, good job. Now let's read another book. This one is called How to Be a Viking by Cressida Cowell. If you've watched How to Train Your Dragon, this is a story of Hiccup as a little kid. Long ago, in a fierce and frosty land, there lived a small and lonely Viking, and his name was Hiccup. Vikings were enormous, roaring burglars with bristling mustaches who sailed over all the world and took whatever they wanted. Hiccup was tiny and thoughtful and polite. The other Viking children wouldn't let him join their rough Viking games. Hiccup was frightened of spiders. He was frightened of thunder. He was frightened of sudden loud noises. But most of all, he was frightened of going to sea for the very first time. Next Tuesday. Hiccup wasn't sure he was a Viking at all. Hiccup's father was Stoic the Vast. Wherever Stoic walked, the ground trembled. Flowers wilted. Bunnies fainted. He hadn't brushed his beard in 30 years.
Only girlies brush their beards,
boomed Stoic the Vast. Girlies don't have beards, Hiccup pointed out, but no one listened to him. When Hiccup told his father he was frightened of going to sea, Stoic laughed his enormous Viking laugh until salty tears ran down to his enormous hairy feet.
You can't be frightened, little Hiccup. Vikings don't get frightened.
And he sang the Viking song.
I've blackened the 1,000 eyes of 1,000 angry gales, and watch me knock the cockles off the biggest, bluest whales. I've given walrus nightmares who thought they were strong. I marooned a huge typhoon on the island of Hong Kong. Oh, ancient prawny greenness, the never-ending sea, mess with the squirmy jellyfish, but do not mess with me.
He patted Hiccup on the head and went off to do 300 push-ups before breakfast. Oh, thought Hiccup, it all sounds very dangerous. So Hiccup went to see the oldest Viking of old, Old Wrinkly, himself, whose barnacled beard fell down to his toes. Your saltiness? He whispered, for Hiccup had beautiful manners. Do Vikings ever get frightened? Little grandson, wheezed Old Wrinkly, and his breath was like being kissed by a mackerel. I've been wondering about that answer to that question myself. The sea is full of trials and terrors, but it is also full of marvels and miracles. Go to sea, and you can tell me if Vikings ever get frightened. So, at 9:15 on a breezy Tuesday, Hiccup went to sea for the very first time. At 9:30, Hiccup was wishing he hadn't eaten those 2 smallish haddock for breakfast. At 9:45, he was feeling very peculiar indeed. And at 10:30, he wished he was dead. I feel seasick, he said to his father.
Vikings don't get seasick,
said Stoic the Vast. But this one was all over Stoic's feet, and Hiccup got sicker and sicker, and the storm got wilder and wilder. Stoic the Vast sang the Viking song at the storm, but the storm took no notice. A great wave came up and soaked him. One mighty wave picked up that whole Viking ship as if it were a matchstick and threw it 50 miles to the south. And one mighty blast from the gale picked up the whole Viking ship as if it were a piece of seaweed and threw it 50 miles to the west. And a terrible black wind went shrieking all over the lonely ocean and turned that Viking ship upside down and inside out and went shivering down every Viking's spine.
We're lost,
said Stoic the not-so-vast after all. And a funny thing happened. His face began to turn a greenish hue, and he thought of the 37 largest haddock he had had for breakfast, and his stomach began to heave. And then all the Vikings turned a pretty green color, and their stomachs heaved, and with an almighty rush, they ran to the side. Oh, I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out. Well, well, said Hiccup. It appears that Vikings do get seasick. And immediately he began to feel better. This direction, shouted Hiccup. But the Vikings were too busy being seasick to steer the boat. So Hiccup began to take charge, and a funny thing happened. The more he steered, the better he felt. As he headed for home, that stormy wind filled the sails, and the boat skimmed over the ocean at 1,000 miles an hour. Out of the depths of the sea came shoals of flying fish and leaping dolphins and strange whales with horns like unicorns. There were eels that lit up like light bulbs, and nameless things with enormous eyes that no one had ever seen before, all following Hiccup the Viking as he steered that ship at tremendous speed toward home. Nice breezy day, hummed Hiccup as he steered into the harbor. So tell me, said old Wrinkly, and his old seashell eyes might have been twinkling, do Vikings ever get frightened?
Sometimes they do, said Stoic the Vast.
But they'll get over it, said Hiccup the Viking. That's what makes them so brave. Vikings sometimes get seasick. The end. Now, we're gonna sing one more pirate song, and then that will be goodbye from us today. So, here we go. What shall we do with a grumpy pirate? What shall we do with a grumpy pirate? What shall we do with a grumpy pirate early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Do a jig and make him smile, do a jig and make him smile, do a jig and make him smile early in the morning. Walk the plank until he wobbles, walk the plank until he wobbles, walk the plank until he wobbles early in the morning. Tickle till he starts to giggle, tickle till he starts to giggle, tickle till he starts to giggle early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us with Tuesday Morning Story Time. We hope you enjoyed this pirate-filled adventure. We hope that you tune in the rest of the week to see what other videos we have coming your way, and check in to see if we have a new Take and Make craft at the library. Hope you have a great day, and now it's time to say goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next time.